horrible things coming up as a nation. Do we need to address and fix those? Absolutely.
Sup, Josh?
But again, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's a lot of good in our country too. Again, you are not born to a station. You are born to be the best that you can be. To have the ability to dream. There's not a lot of places in this world that you can get up every morning and decide, I have a new dream, and I'm going to work towards that.
Well, just get in the car and drive from one coast to the other. You know, when we...
Woo, they on a soapbox tonight. What's up, everybody? Let's see who all came in. Josh, Pickers, Green Gables, I'm sorry, y'all. How about now? There we go. Now we got sound in the house. Bingo. I might have to return this mic. The wire is messed up down here in the bottom. Sorry about that, guys. Ooh, I must have had a major drag in Mama Oldway's stream, because I literally just turned you guys off and you guys were still talking, and you're in here now. So, major drag. Major lag. Major lag. One day at a time. How's it going? Heather, Marge, Country Girl, City Girl, Josh, Kathy, Neona, Mama, one day at a time. Professor, Old Ways, Kitty, Kathy, Old Tipping Bucket, Anita, C. Dean, Green Gables, Kathy. I think that's everybody. Hello. Lone Star sneaking in. Lone Star. Hello. Okay, y'all are stuck with me tonight. Mama's not feeling good. I think she got into a little something. It's Sheila, Mary S. I think she got into a little something, and yep, got a live chat, not top chat. So, y'all, it's just me. And we had kind of a good show planned out, but then it all fell through. So I think I'm just going to run off at the mouth for a little while. Probably not going to do the full hour, because we don't want to run over Deep South time. I want to thank Mama and the Professor at Old Ways for keeping their live stream going while we were beating feet on the way home. to talk about. It's just we had a little bit of a format set up for the show. Mom will be in here in a second. In the chat box, you know she's going to be there because she done. Well, no, maybe she's not. She left her phone and her computer, so I guess she trusts me. Now y'all don't start blowing up her phone. So one day at a time. That's probably the. Hold on, I think I did mess something up here. Okay, let's say. Let's turn that off. That's better. How's that? Is that better? Did that fix the hum? No change. Heck, nabbit. Robin is broken. Yeah, but before y'all didn't have that problem with the AC. Y'all didn't hear the AC that much. Wait a minute, let me see if maybe something happened back here. Oh. David Gunter. How y'all doing? Is that better? That help? That help? That help a little bit? That help a little bit? I don't know. Anyway. Like picking up vibrations from the table. Uh-oh. Okay, what did I just miss? Oh, accident. Good job, Robin. Good job. Way to go. She's on my phone. Well, send one of them youngins out here to get your phone. I tell you, I can't help nobody here. So, if you missed our little live show on the Facebook page today, let me go ahead and catch y'all up to date. We need y'all's assistance. We started a new social media platform on Pinterest. Big Bear Homestead on Pinterest. If y'all could go on over there and follow it, we'd appreciate it. And if you're on Twitter or InstaCheese and you haven't been following us, please do. It would help us out tremendously, more than you know. The higher we can get those numbers, the more it will help us. So the thing that I wanted to talk about today, is the mic better? Is the mic better? Is the mic better? Okay, good. Okay. So, alright, the thing that I wanted to talk about, and I wish Robin was here a little bit, because it came across her feed while she was at work one day, and that Bill Gates, he's one of the 1%ers, Bill Gates come out and said, it is not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. He said that it is only a matter of time, that the world is primed for another global pandemic. He said with the way people travel back and forth today, that it's just a matter of time before we have another global pandemic. Now you had the Spanish flu, you had the Black Plague. What are some other ones that we had? Mumps, measles, polio. Ebola. Here's the thing, ladies and germs. Nowadays, in the way that our global market, our global society, our global culture has come around, it's not going to be, and this is what Bill Gates was talking about, it's not going to be a whoops, oh, this is starting to get a little bit out of control, let's go ahead and nip this in the bud right here. It's already going to be spread worldwide before we even know it's happening. Honey, you just got a weird message. Oh. Okay. I have to look at that later. Robin, check your Facebook. Because this is the reason why. How many people get on planes every day? Okay, let's even back it up and let's even bring it just a little bit more home. Today was Robin's birthday. We stayed home for the first half of the day. Okay? Then Robin and I had an appointment with a possible sponsor for the channel. So we drove about an hour 15 minutes to another town. On our way to that town, we stopped at a fast food joint. We came in contact with the lady at the first window, and we also came in contact with the lady at the second window. Now, both of those ladies seem, let's just be honest, or let's just kind of be fair and say that those those two ladies in the city of Anderson, South Carolina, maybe throughout their 8-hour shift came in contact with, let's just say, 200 people. Now, we have no idea where those other 200 people came from. Could one of them been a businessman that was doing business overseas, or a salesperson that his company sent him overseas a couple of days ago and he came back today to visit with his family before he has to go back over there? And let's just say that maybe he contacted the gonorrhea, herpes, AIDS, simplex 12 syndrome, but its incubation period, let's just say, is like Ebola. What's that? What's the incubation period on Ebola? Anybody know? Pop quiz. So, incubation period on Ebola is, who Googled it? Somebody's Googling it right now. Nope, not 48 hours. It's a little bit longer than that. 14 days. 14 days. Okay? So let's just say he comes back and he's on his second trip and he contracted it the first time. And now he's contagious. And let's just say he's got a side thing with one of those girls that, what?
I'm just going to eat it. Thank you.
That was in that fast food joint that we stopped at. And he'd open mouth kissed her, but right before we got there. Now she got it both. Or better yet, let's just keep on rolling down the road and saying that everything was safe there. And we were rolling down the road and we went to our potential sponsor's place. And there's a new strain of the flu virus that's airborne that we don't know about yet. Okay? And my guy got it because he ordered some supplies that came from overseas. Okay? And just that quick, Robin and I got the super flu. And all we literally did was go from our homestead to our potential sponsors and back. And now we got the super flu. And not only do we've got the super flu, now we came home and we infected our children and we went out to celebrate Robin's birthday. The restaurant we went in was packed. So we possibly contaminated everybody in that restaurant, let alone Blaze going to work in the next couple of days, and whammo, now every cop in the county's got it. And just that fast, that's how it spreads. Because see, what we didn't talk about is everybody that was in that place of business when we were in there, they also contracted the super flu. And then they went out on their way, and the town that it was in was kind of a little touristy town. So they went out seeing all the sights and visiting all the little local shops and just spreading the super flu around like it was the 1960s. And it was the club. But see, here's the thing. Then, let's just say that happened, and a businessman was in the restaurant where we were at, came in contact, and his next business trip takes him to Rome. And now we done killed the Pope. Well, we're all going to hell. It's just that easy on how something like that can spread, because people travel so far and we travel so fast now. It is nothing for a businessman to go from the United States of America to London, to Tokyo, to Dublin, to Queensland, Australia, and then back to America in a week. In a week, this one man has traveled the globe. And if he got a sickness, or if he got the super flu or the super bug, every person that he was on every single one of those airplanes with is now infected. And that's what Bill Gates is talking about. And the fact of the matter is that Mr. Optimism, Mr. Bill Gates himself, he's one of the ones that always says that the glass is half full and we can figure it out. They say, we ain't ready. We're not ready. I don't know about you. Some people, I let some things that they say go in one ear and out the other. But when somebody that has the stance that is way left, like Bill Gates, all of a sudden says, y'all might want to prepare. That kind of makes you go, huh? What? Whoa. Back up there, Sparky. What did you just say? He goes, what I said was, we're not ready. Does anybody have can make a rough estimate? Just take a stab at it. How many bugs or how many viruses or how many, well, viruses, antibiotics don't do viruses, but how many illnesses that are out there, these superbugs that are now antibiotic resistant, meaning there's no antibiotic on the planet that can kill it? Gazillions. Exactly, Teresa Dean. Too many to actually count. We have over antibioticed ourselves to where the germs and the bugs say, oh okay, Cletus. And now they take that stuff like steroids, like they're an old WWE wrestler from back in the day that's pumping roids. Now you throw an antibiotic out and they're like, oh, feel the burn! And they're mutating. See, here's the thing. I believe in creation. I believe in Jesus. But I'm also not ignorant enough to close my eyes to believe that there is no such thing as evolution. That there is no such thing as things evolving, things adapting. Marines adapt all the time. Simplify, JS Farms 2004. So, and a virus, a bug, a germ, it is a living organism. Just like how us humans, we adapt to certain situations. Combat veterans adapt to the realities of combat. They get hardened to it. Our society, our culture has become hardened, and we have evolved to the level of disrespect and what's the word I'm looking for? Entitlement. That's out there today. So why is it hard for us to fathom or to even believe that these bacteria and these bugs can evolve and adapt to where the medicines are not working? Kitty's Homestead is exactly 1,000,000% correct. Your herbal remedies and your essential oils are now, or should be now, your #1 weapon. And here's my 2 cents. Here's what the fat grass farmer from Georgia is going to spit out of his mouth, and this is the reason why I'm saying it is the way that it is. Get out your pen and paper and take some notes if you need to. The reason why essential oils and herbal remedies are so powerful at combating these bacterial infections, these viruses, these illnesses, these ailments? It is because our culture and our modern medicine has taken our antibiotics and we have pushed these bugs until they've been in the back room doing bench press and ingesting the antibiotics that we're doing because we've overused them. We've overused them in treating human beings. We've overused them in treating the animals that we ingest. We've overused them in everything to the part where antibiotics are now a part of our DNA. We have literally changed the human DNA. So now, the superbugs back there, like Lou Ferrigno and Arnold, pumping iron, pumping antibiotics. They can't be pumping iron. Now they're like, come at me, bro. Now they're looking at Mr. MD, Mr. Soft Bones in the doctor's office while you're coughing and hacking up a bunch of lung butter and spitting it all over the floor. They're looking at the doc and saying, ha ha ha, come at me, bro. What you got? Sup? They go full thug life on the doctor. And the doctor is looking at you going, I don't know why it's not working. You're going to die. Then you get the crazies like me. The crazies like Robin, Always, Kitty. And we're saying, hello, want to listen to us? Use your brain for a minute. There's no money in curing cancer. There's no money in curing the common cold. There's no money in curing illness. That's why if you take a second, it is absolute. The best comedy on TV, the best comedies on TV are drug commercials. I know Mary S. and I'm going to have to apologize to them. I came on late and we're just going to have to run a little late. Our drug commercials. Listen to the side effects that this drug may cause. If you take this drug for a mild headache, it may cause side effects may be diarrhea, constipation, blindness, erections lasting longer than 8 hours. Your arms may fall off, your nose may fall off, your lungs may collapse, you may bleed internally, and your eyeballs may go bulge right out of your head. But have a nice day. And some may even result in death. I'm going to take this why. I'm going to take this why. You know the chances are of you having any type of allergic reaction to an essential oil or to an herb? Slim to none, and Slim just left town. Do you know that your average, matter of fact, no, you're not eating your average. Do you know that the medical doctors that have graduated from medical school in the last, if they have graduated within the last 20 to 30 years, do you know how much of an education that they get on just nutrition? If you're lucky, 8 hours. I went to the VA because I know my nutrition is out of whack. I know that there is some chemical imbalances going on in my system that I know I could probably correct with diet. I asked to speak to a nutrition. I don't know what that lady was. But she wasn't a nutrition. She was, I think. I mean, she tried to help me. She did. But she had no idea what I was talking about. I think I knew more about nutrition than she did. She wanted to show me their food chart on what I'm supposed to have on my plate. The food pyramid is gone, y'all. Gone. The food pyramid that we grew up with, where it told you to eat grains and veggies and meat and fats, that's all gone. It's now a plate. America has gotten so overweight and so obese that they are more focused on portion control than what's on the plate. Instead of having 4 slices of pizza, let's have 1 slice of pizza and a Diet Coke. That's not eating a balanced, healthy diet. And I've come to the realization, and I come to my own research, and I come to the realization that it's very simple. Portion control is important, yes. But the biggest thing that should be on your plate is something green. Vegetables, fruits. You should go back to the old food chart that we had when we were kids. Find it. Put it up in your house. And say, children, this is how we're going to eat. But back to what I was saying. The reason why essential oils and herbal medicines and herbal remedies are kicking butt right now is because these viruses and these bugs and this bacteria and all this trash has evolved so far away. Because remember, our modern medicine came from herbal medicines. It was the government's way, or they, we'll just call it they, quotation marks, they. It was they who took what the herbs were doing and tried to recreate it and made it synthetic. And so they thought they could do better. And they, with their science, pushed it and pushed it and pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. And now it's so far from the original genome of what it was supposed to be that the bugs and the bacteria are like, we don't even know what garlic is anymore. And so then you swoop in there and you hit them with some On Guard, or you hit them with some oregano or basil, or you hit them with some other garlic, infused honey garlic, and ooh boy, it's like you done let in the old rock and roll express from the back in the WWE, and it starts cleaning house. Because they don't know how to combat it. Because see, here's the wonderful thing, and this tells you, woo, calm down, Jason. Woo, this tells you that we had a creator. Okay? You know, everybody asks me that, like, Jason, why you believe in God? I say, open up a beehive, man. Open up a beehive. Tell me there ain't one. Why you believe in God, Jason? Plant a seed, man. Plant a seed. Tell me there ain't one. Because see, just like how there's 25 folks in here, and each one of you is different in your own little way. So are the plants. Not every tomato is the same, man. That's why when you take and you save seeds, what do? Well, you go to the best plant that grew that year and you save the best fruit off of it. You let it fully ripen on the vine. And then when it falls off the vine, you take it and you save those seeds. Okay? And then you're hoping that it will replicate the same plant that it did the following year. But what happens? Well, it gets a little stronger. The fruit gets a little bit bigger. And you have some that are duds. And you have this one tomato that was awesome last year, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, 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 I got the super tomato. Plants can do that. Plants do that. And so the reason why that herbs and essential oils work so great in fighting all of these sicknesses is because not every plant's the same. So these sicknesses, this bacteria stuff, they cannot develop an immunity to them like they can the synthetic drugs. That's how I know there's a God. Because only an intelligent creator could have been that smart. Your food used to be alive. That was one of the great things about it. Do you know where your immune system starts? Let me quote Carol Ann when she first said, when we were asking about the first cow we ever processed, and they asked her where T-bone was going. In your belly. So when you're taking some of these over-the-counter stuff and it's supposed to kill the bacteria in your gut, guess what, homie? You just killed all the good stuff. That's why you hear a lot of folks promoting fermented food, kombucha, was it kefir, whatever that nasty stuff is, sauerkraut, fermented foods. Why? Because the fermented food puts the good stuff back in your belly. This is why they don't want you to drink raw milk. Yogurts, that's another one. Thank you, Kitty. Raw milk has the good bacteria in it. There are people, literally, and this probably happens more in California than it does anywhere else, because we all know California is its own little world. If you're from California, I love you, but y'all got some stuff going on over there. They are literally having fecal transplants. That's right. They're going under the knife to transplant poop. Why? Because this poop that they're putting in you has more of the good bacteria to regenerate in your gut. Look, man, don't go under the knife to get new poop. Drink some kombucha. Look, man, don't be at the flea market trying to swap poop. Eat some sauerkraut. Do y'all know the reason why pasteurization and homogenized came around? So it was back around the Great Depression, and there was this one dairy. When they always say one bad apple spoils the bunch, hold on to your knickers, because this is probably where it came from. One dairy. One dairy started using the aftermarket for the hops when there was a brewery close by, and when they would run the hops through and they were done with the hops, he used said hops to feed his dairy cows. There was one problem with that. It turned the milk blue. And since he knew he wasn't living in the Smurf village, he knew he had to do something about it, and he put chalk in the milk to turn it back white. And it was that chalk that added a bunch of nasty bacteria that got everybody sick And big government came in, and instead of just shutting him down, they said, well, we better stop this from happening ever again. And so they said, whammo on the raw milk sales. And they started hammering down on it. And they kept tightening it over the years. And all of a sudden, the milkman disappeared. I think there was also a lot of deaths due to the milkman. The milkman was a high-risk job. There was a lot of babies born by the milkman. You know what I mean? But, anyway. And so the government kept twisting that, to now you can be charged with a felony in my state if you get caught selling raw milk. What? I told my daddy, I said, Daddy, there's going to come a day that you and I are going to have to build another hot rod, and I'm going to have to be like the Duke boys. Instead of running liquor, I'm going to be running milk. I'm going to foam the trunk of my Charger to make it like a Yeti cooler. And I'm going to be running milk all up and down the dirt roads in the backwoods of Georgia. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to call the car the General Butter. My horn, instead of playing the Dixie Battle Cry, it'll play Wildflower Valley. Yes, you can sell it for pet use, and praise the Lord that my state said, you know what, you just got to put a sticker on it. They used to make you dye it. We're going to call it Utter Butter. That's right, Josh, Utter Butter. General Utter Butter. And this all goes back to there's no money in healthy people. Let's look at the medical fields. You have general doctors. You have specialty doctors. You have nurse practitioners. You have specialized nurse practitioners. You have anesthesiologists. You have nurses. RNs, LPNs. You have patient care technicians. You have places where folks go called hospice. There's nothing else that we can do for you except for milk every last dime that you have. We're going to put you in a fancy place called a hospice, where we're just going to let you die gently. I'm telling you right now, I'm saying it publicly, if any one of my kids put me in one of those, I will haunt you for the rest of my life. Amy is exactly right. It was the 1970s when the Department of Agriculture looked at the farmers and said, go big or go home. What's up, Lisa? And so, and here we are. We're the gerbil in the ball. You know, the little big See, my kids wanted to get a hamster and a gerbil. And I was like, yeah. And Robin was like, why do you want them to have a hamster or a gerbil? I said, you know, you can get one of them big plastic balls. You can stick the gerbil in there and close the lid, and then they can run all over the house. And she was like, yeah. And I said, Apollo. Here, boy. Robin was like, it's never going to happen. I said, why? It's not like he could get into the ball and get the gerbil. He would just probably kick it around, bark at it, and use it like a soccer ball. You know how much funny that would be? And then Robin would be like, yeah, and he'd get chasing around, and then she made good points. Apollo weighs 140 pounds. He stretches and puts his feet on the wall and puts a hole in the drywall. Could you imagine what he could do if he ran full force? So, yeah. So, we don't have one. But, as human beings, that's exactly what we are. We're running on the treadmill. We're running in this plastic ball, bouncing off the wall while we got a 140-pound Rottweiler chasing us. I didn't mean you literally, dude. He's right there. And we're trying to outrun this Roddy, and it's like a cat with a mouse. That's why I say cats come from Satan. And so it takes us sitting down, taking the blinders off, and going, that doesn't make any sense there, Sparky. I'm looking at this pill that you gave me, and by law you have to give me this piece of paper that most people don't read, and it's got like 4 pages of side effects. Man, I don't know about everybody else in America, but I kind of like my big toe, and I don't want it falling off if I take this pill. And I really don't want to lose all of the hair on my body or be constipated for a week. See, we need to take those off, and we need to sit in classes like Robin does with essential oils. We need to pick up a book like Amy For Real's book. You need to go to Amazon and pick up Amy For Real's book. Amy needs to put the link to her book in the description or in the chat right now. It's all about herbs. And we need to educate ourselves on how these things can help and what we need to do. And you would be amazed at how easy herbs are to grow. You would be amazed at how many are literally in your backyard that you didn't even know. You have to educate yourself about wild plants, wild edibles, wild foraging. And here's the gospel truth. Hand to God. If I'm lying, let him strike me dead right here. My children rarely get sick. Why? Because my children eat wild edibles. My children, for the first part of their life, and even now when we're in milk, drink, raw milk. They eat fermented foods. You don't know my kids are sick until you go to give them a kiss goodnight and tuck them into bed, and you touch one of them and they're burning up. You're like, hold on there, homie, you got a fever. Come here. No, I don't. And then they get scared. No, Daddy, I ain't got a fever. I ain't got a fever. I don't want to lay underneath 500 million blankets, Daddy. No, it's not a fever. I was just outside. I was exercising, Daddy. Daddy, I was doing push-ups, Daddy. Oh, crap. Why? Because my kids want to get back outside because they know the wild spinach is time and they want to eat the crap out of it, especially Ladessa. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. My kids come in. Dirt helps keep your children healthy. Let them play in it. Let them play in it. And here's the thing. You know, Kathy Beals put up kids with peanut butter allergies, lactose intolerant, ADD, etc., etc. We were part of a study. We were part of a study with a doctor. And you'll find doctors out there that are getting sick and tired of it, and they're sick and tired of going, hey, how come this kid can't eat? everything this kid eats, he's swelling up like he went 3 rounds with Tyson. What the crap? And so the doctor is part of a church group, and he realizes, hey, in this church group, there are people who are weird. So these are people that grow their own food, and they don't use chemicals. And they're growing their chickens on, they're letting their chickens eat bugs and grass. And then they're processing there in the place, and they're not letting that chicken sit in a fecal bath for 45 minutes and then washing it down with all of these listed chemicals or radiating said chicken. I want to try something. This kid is allergic to chicken. This kid's allergic to everything, and the parents are frustrated. With your permission, let's try something. And the parents were so frustrated, they said, sure, let's give it a go. And so this kid got a chicken from Icebox Farms and from Big Bear Homestead, a meat bird. He tried the one from Icebox Farms. He didn't have an allergic reaction. And he said, okay, well, the people at Icebox Farms, they must be weird. So they gave him a Big Bear Homestead chicken. Same thing. Kid ate the bottom out of the chicken. No reaction. So, all right, let's try the eggs. So they got the eggs from us, Icebox, and a different farm. They also got another chicken from another farm, and I can't remember which farm. And guess what? No reaction. But when he buys the eggs from Walmart that are supposed to be organic, this kid swells up. What the crap is going on? And then the doctor looked at us and said, you know what do you guys are doing different? Come here, Sparky. I know you ain't gonna believe this, but we did it the way God said. There's no chemicals in that chicken. There's no antibiotics in that chicken. And then the doctor started scratching his head and he said, took the kid back in and started doing different tests on this kid's back, because that's what they do. They put a little bit, they scratch on the skin and put the stuff on the back. And all of a sudden he started putting the stuff in that was in antibiotics, and all of a sudden this kid started having reactions. Started putting out these different chemicals that are in most of the commercial food, and this kid started having reactions. Now this family has their own small farm just to be able to save their child's life. And now this doctor is starting to look at some of his kids and say, hey, hold up there, Sparky. Let's try this. And most of the time, when people say, well, my kid's allergic to peanuts, or my kid's allergic to chicken, or my kid is allergic to this or allergic to that, my kid's lactose intolerant, he can't handle milk. Little Johnny's so sensitive. No. Most of the, now some of them are legit now. Some of them come and they get the stuff and they still. Others, not so much. And it makes you as a person want to do crazy things. In Old Ways News Time tonight, they read the Declaration of Independence, I believe, and they were talking about what we need to do as a society to get things to change. Well, I'm going to add one thing to the stuff that they said. Yes, we need to vote. Yes, we need to be educated on who we vote for. Also, gotcha, Mama. Also, you need to show these big pharmaceutical, big agriculture, big Walmart, big Sam's Club, big grocery store that, you know what? Keep your poison, homie. And then you need to go on down to a small local farm like Big Bear Homestead, Icebox Farms, Old Ways, New Times, and go to these farms and say, hey, can I tour your place? And if there's somebody like me that are doing it the right way, and they're not going to be worried about, oh, biodiversity, biochemicals, bio, you're going to bring in something on your shoe and it's going to... No, because our animals are out there in it. They're grazing. They have healthy immune systems because the ones that don't die, and we use them for predator control. AKA calling the herd. And so they come and they tour your place. And then they want to sit down and then they'll explain to you about how sick, that their kid can't eat commercialized food. And you sit over there and you go, And one of two things is going to happen. One, the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to become a customer. Second thing, they may also become a volunteer employee. Because then they're going to want to go do it themselves. And we need to empower these people. This is how we change our nation. Is sharing information. Educating one another. Because yes, we need to vote. And yes, our voting system is flawed. Yes, it is corrupt. But the way to change it is to take the money away from them. And you do that by bringing that money back to the local businesses, the mom and pop places, your butcher, your baker, your candlestick maker, your local farm. Go to farmers markets. Talk to these guys. Have conversations with them. Don't just walk up and buy the pretty red tomato because it looked good. No. Because some of those are there just for the money. They don't care about how that food was raised. Majority of them, there's a lot of pride in that tomato. And those are the guys that you want to have a conversation with. You want to have a conversation with the farmer that's there, that's not afraid to talk to you. You want to have a conversation to that farmer that looks at you and says, "Hey, come on out now. Come on. Bring them babies out. We just had a birthing. We got some baby piglets. Bring your babies out to see the baby piglets. And we'll have a good time, and we'll come up with some type of a plan for you." That's the farmer you want to hook up with. That's your man. Your man is the one that has a little banner like this and says, "Come on, hey, you need to bring them babies out to the house because we just had some baby goats, and I think we'll get some really good pictures for you, and you can come on out, see the place, and we'll sit down and we'll talk. We'll figure out a plan for you." You know, Mama Old Ways, they are at their location. Okay, you would not think because of the location that they're at that they would have a farmer's market. But oh my baby, they got a good one. Now, not all farmers markets are created equal. I'll be the first one to say that. That's why you have to have conversations. You can't be an introvert going to the farmer's market and expecting, don't be coming to me going, "Big Bear, my kids are still getting sick and I've been buying at the farmer's market." Because the first thing I'm going to ask you is, did you talk to them? Did you go out and tour their farm? Well, no, I just went and they had nice looking tomatoes, so I bought them. See, the problem with farmers market is because it became so popular so fast that some people are buying stuff off of trucks, calling it locally grown, and bringing it to the farmers market. See, the first couple of times you go to the farmers market, I wouldn't buy a thing. But I would go there and make sure I had plenty of time in my day to walk around, look at things, and talk to the farmer. Ask them how they do pest control. Ask them what type of gardening practices do they have. Are they a monoculture or a polyculture? Do they do companion gardening? Do they rotate? How do they fertilize their fields? Do they make compost? These are all important questions to ask. Ask if you can come out and see their place. And when you go out there, do not be expecting to see some beautiful, like the Mists of Avalon kind of thing. It's not going to be Camelot. It's going to be a working farm, a working homestead. They are going to have a junk pile. They're going to have compost bins. The animals are going to be out in the open, and they're going to be doing it. They're going to be pooping everywhere. Wear boots. Don't go out there in flip-flops like a little snowflake. Don't be going out there in open-toed shoes, because you're going to come back with cat poop under your toenail. And you're going to notice it when you get home and you're trying to take a shower, and you're like, what is that smell? It's smelling it ever since we left the farm. Then you're going to notice you got cat poop. And you're going to be in the shower and you'll be like, so save yourself the gag, the dry heaving there, snowflake. Wear boots. Okay? Get you a cheap pair of boots. Anyway. But go out there. See how it's done. The important questions to ask. What do you do for pest control? What do you do when your animals get sick? Do you treat with antibiotics? What do you do? What do you do for intestinal parasites? You have an intestinal parasite problem. Well, we really don't have an intestinal parasite problem because we do intense grazing and we're constantly moving, so it's very hard for intestinal parasites to get a hold of our animal. But when we do, we use diatomaceous earth, or we feed them squash and pumpkin seeds, or you might find the one. You might find the one and be like, "I'll see, my wife, she's a witch and she practices essential oils, and so we take a piece of lettuce and put some oregano oil on it and we feed it to the cow and they eat it up, and the oregano will kill the intestinal parasites." Don't look at them like they're smoking weed, because it's true. There are natural remedies for everything out there. Man is not smarter than God. And you can do your own investigating with this farmer. And if you're not comfortable with how they're doing things, then you don't buy from them. You go to the next one, and then the next one, and you go until you find one that you are comfortable with. And then you support him by buying his eggs, his vegetables, his meat. And then that makes Big Farm and Tyson and all these other companies out there that are more interested in the bottom line than putting out healthy food. It makes them sit back. It's already started to make a difference. How many of us have seen the commercial that they are now treating their chickens, instead of using antibiotics, they're using herbs like thyme, oregano, lavender, I think was one of them that I've seen on there, that they're putting it in the water supposedly. So it's already made enough noise that the powers that be are starting to try to stand up and pay attention. We just got to keep making the noise. And we do that by supporting the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, your local farms, your local businesses. You find somebody like Josh or Ricky Wallace You find yourself a blacksmith in your town and you say, hey homie, I need a knife. I need a good butcher's knife. Now it may cost you more than that $20 one at Walmart. But the difference is the butcher knife that you're getting from somebody like Ricky Wallace or Josh or a good blacksmith, you're going to be handing that butcher's knife down to your son. And as long as he takes care of it, he's going to hand it down to his. That's the difference between American steel and Chinese steel. You guys, we've been on longer than an hour, and I'm starting to see the light show, so it's time for me to go. We will pick this up another time. Don't forget, if you are on Pinterest, please come on over and follow us. Also, we're all, please, on all of our other social media platforms, our Big Bear Homestead Facebook page, the Facebook group, Twitter. We're going to be putting videos out on the IGTV. If you're already on, follow us on Instagram. You don't have to do anything special. You've already got the IGTV hookup. Also, you guys, share some of our videos. Help us get the word out about us. Don't forget, the Homesteaders of America Conference is right around the corner. It's coming up fast. Get your tickets. If you haven't signed up for my class and you're getting your backside handed to you by a predator, go to the page for the classes. Sign up. We've changed things up. If you can't afford the price to be able to get the trap with the stuff and traps, we've lowered. We've given you another tier that you can go in and still come to the class, but you won't be getting the traps. And we are starting something new. We are going to do a Bible study on Sunday evenings at 7:30 p.m. here on YouTube, but we are going to do it unlisted, so that way we won't be distracted by trolls or haters. And we're going to dive into the Bible. Now, you don't have to be a Christian to come. You don't have to be a know-all Bible scholar to come. What you do have to have in order to come to this is an open mind and an open heart. If you don't believe in Jesus, I want you to come. I want you to come and ask questions. Because I want to ask you questions about what you believe. And I want to learn about what you believe. Jesus told us to be understanding, to seek wisdom. And so we're gonna pick a verse tomorrow. I don't know which one we're gonna pick. We're gonna talk about it. And see, I also believe that you just don't pick the one verse. You read the verse before it and you read the verse after it to help you understand. And we're gonna talk about it in depth. Everybody's voice in this Bible study is gonna count. And whatever you say, you're not gonna be wrong. I may not agree, but it doesn't mean you're wrong. Unless you're just like saying mean and nasty stuff. Okay? Then there's going to be somewhat of a line. So if you want to be a part of that, and I hope you do, send us an email with your email address that says, hey, I want to be part of the Camelot Bible Study. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it the Camelot Bible Study because it's going to be treated how Arthur treated his knights at the round table. And I want to have a round table discussion. about what's in the Bible. And I want to break it down, and I want to chew on some biblical meat. So send us an email saying that you want to be a part of it with an email address, and we will send you the link via your email address. Now, you come in there acting ugly, I will boot you. There'll be no name calling. There'll be no being ugly. Because that's not what it's about. I don't care if you're Wiccan. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care if you're agnostic. And I don't care if you're an atheist. If you want to come and learn and share your point of view and share what this scripture means to you and how it has affected you, or why you don't understand it, then this is the live stream for you. And that's going to be the live stream for you. It'll be a mixture of both, Kitty. It will be a mixture of both. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. Don't claim to be one. I'm not a biblical scholar. I'm going to share what it says to me and what I think it means and how I interpret it. And hopefully, there'll be others there that will share what it says to them. Then maybe between all of us, we'll be able to figure out the meaning. Because see, that's one of the things that's great about the Bible. It talks to us each differently. And so one of the things that, and I don't know where it's at, basically it's in the section where the Bible, where they're talking about speaking in tongues, and they say that, you know, you pray so hard you to speak in tongues, but you also got to pray hard enough that there's somebody there to translate it. Now, I don't know about the whole speaking in tongues thing. I don't know anything about it. I asked somebody about it one time, and that's what they told me. I don't know if that's legit. That's just what I was told. And so that's the way that I look at this. We're going to read something, and I'm going to share what it means to me and what it says to me, and I'm hoping others are going to share too, and then maybe between the bunch of us, maybe it will reveal its true meaning. Be kind to one another. You don't know what that person could be going through. They could have lost a loved one. They could have lost a pet. They could have lost all their money. And they were more focused on that. That's why they cut you off in traffic. Well, that's why they bumped into you at the grocery store. They didn't mean it. Their mind was somewhere else. And even if they did mean it, they were just being ugly. Show them kindness. That's how we combat all of this ugliness that the mainstream media and everybody wants us to believe, that we're so divided. And as long as we keep believing that BS, we're going to be. And we're going to go right down that road till they want us to be, where we end up in a civil war, and at the end of the day, they take away a bunch of our rights. So kill them with kindness. Be kind, and I know it's hard. Trust me, I got a very short temper. I know it's hard. I got to run myself every day. Kill them with kindness. Be kind to that person. Say hello to a stranger. Even when they show up late in your live stream, when you're trying to say goodbye, and he comes in because he's like one of your best friends, and he comes in and is like, waiting in the house. Be kind to him. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, whatever you believe, there is going to be some judgment, and you have to face it. For me, I'll be standing in front of Jesus. And I'll have to answer for my sins. So, the less I have to answer for, the better. Reuse, recycle, repurpose. Keep things out of the landfill. We are a throwaway society, and it's costing us. Rabies is on the rise. Distemper is on the rise. All these other diseases, flesh-eating bacteria and stuff, all of that is on the rise, and it's attacking our wildlife. Our wildlife is our food source. You're killing your own food. Do like Mama Donna and them said tonight. Get active in your local government. Get your city council and everybody to promote getting the revamping of some of the old buildings in your old downtowns to stop them from building new buildings to put in a new strip mall that takes away a couple of 100 acres of great wildlife. You're wondering why coyotes are coming in your neighborhood. You're wondering why you're seeing bobcats in your neighborhood. You're wondering why you got a raccoon living in your attic, or you got a squirrel living in your attic, or you got a snake coming up out of your commode. We are doing it to ourselves by taking away their habitat. The reason why you're seeing that bobcat is because your neighborhood was a part of his territory and he's not giving it up. He's looking for his old girlfriend. And he doesn't care that he's walking through your Bermuda grass. He doesn't care. So you want to stop seeing bobcats and coyotes in your neighborhood? Do your part to keep crap out of landfills to stop them from filling up, or we got to make new ones. If your town doesn't have a recycling center or a recycling program, get in your council members' face. Get them to get it. Get them to do it. Promote green living. I'm not saying you've got to sell your dually or your SUV. No. What I'm saying is all those 2-liter bottles that everybody's using are the aluminum cans that are on the side of the road and all this other junk. Get them in recycling centers. And if you're near the beach, get a group of people together for 1 hour and just pick up the plastic that's on the beach. When we go to the beach, which is few and far between on vacation, every morning we would wake up, we'd take a trash bag, and we'd go out there and just pick up plastic that washed up on the shore. And you would fill up trash bags in an hour. 5 members of the family, that's 5 trash bags full. Everybody needs to do their part. I love you guys. Don't forget to send us the email. We'll see you tomorrow, next week. Next week. It was supposed to happen this week, but Mama got sick. We are going to be introducing some things. You don't want to miss it. I got something on my sleep. We love you guys, and we may pop on just to go live tomorrow if Mama's feeling better, because I got this funny feeling she's going to want to. Love you guys. Don't forget to check us out on other social media, and we will see you